Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, you're highly welcome. My name is Zara. I'm a medical doctor based in Nigeria. A few days ago, I asked my community to ask me any questions that they had about house job, the center I did it in, basically any questions, and you guys indulged me. You asked a lot of questions, right? And these questions are not just like straightforward question, like it's like number 1A, number 1B, number 1C. They have babies. It feels like exam questions, but I'm super grateful and super happy that you guys indulged me and you asked your questions. So in today's video, I'm going to be answering those questions.
Nobody can tell me that God is not patient.
I really don't want this video to be extremely long, so I'm gonna try and answer each question as fast as I can. And also a lot of questions were like repeated multiple times, so I'm just going to answer that once, if you know what I mean. So I'm just going to go straight right into it. I'm going to be calling your names because this is like public, like everybody's going to see the questions that you asked. So I think it's okay if I mention your names, and also I'm going to leave the questions on the screen, so just in case anybody wants to follow. All right, the first question here says, I heard FMC Ebute metta is difficult to get. How did you get it? Also, why did you choose a general hospital instead of a teaching hospital? Then the next one says, did you stay in the doctor's lounge? How was it? Oh my god, it's a lot of questions, so I'm gonna take it step by step. The first one is, FMC Ebute metta is difficult to get. How did you get in? Simple and short was that I I applied and I got in. Okay, I'm going to be really honest and transparent here. FMC Ebute metta is it's difficult to get. People will tell you that it comes out on the portal, but the truth is that it's not always on. In fact, it's rarely on the portal. Yes, I've heard of cases where a few people got from the portal, but like it's not the case in like 100%, like even 90% or 99% of the time. It's like maybe once or twice, but the posting needs to come from MDCN. I'm going to tell you the truth, it needs to come from MDCN. So you need someone to send your documents, your information to MDCN, and once you just get to the portal, you just see that you're posted to the hospital you want. And it's the same thing with a lot of other hospitals. Don't let anybody deceive you. Like most of the centers in Abuja, aside like the general hospitals, I can't remember what they call them, HSC, no, that's for Lagos. Aside the general hospitals in Abuja, other hospitals are like that also. National Hospital is like that. FMC Jabi is like that. Even, I'm not sure about University of Abuja, but I think it's also like that. Even here in Lagos, even Unilag sometimes is also connection. I don't even know how it's connection, but Unilag comes out on the portal. I've seen it come out before on the portal. Okay, so yeah, that's how I got in, by through MDCN, to be honest. So basically, I got someone sent my name, and I just saw it like 2 days after like I submitted my documents. I just saw that I was posted to FMC Ebute metta, and I have to add this at this point of the video. I'm kind of like a nepo baby because I was giving birth to at the hospital when FMC Ebute metta was, people didn't even know about it. Like it's since I think 2019 or 2020, like that, people started knowing about FMC Ebute metta. But basically that has been my hospital and family hospital since before I was even born. That's, by the way, that's not what this video is about. Then the next question here says, also, why did you choose a general hospital instead of teaching hospital? FMC Ebute metta is not a general hospital, it's a federal hospital, right? Unlike there's some hospitals they call HSC. Can't remember the name of what HSC means now. Can't remember. If I think about it, I'll put it on the screen. If not, go find out. Anyway, FMC Ebute metta, FMC is not a general hospital, it is a federal hospital. It's just like, you can compare it to like teaching hospitals, because they have residency programs, right? So right now FMC Ebute metta has residency in in fact almost all specialties. There is residencies in anesthesiology, surgery, medicine, pediatrics, O&G. So they have residency programs, and it's not the only thing they don't have is like medical students, but you can do your electives there, and that's where I did my electives actually when I was in 5th year. I did my elective in FMC Ebute metta. Why did I choose? Okay, I chose the hospital because, like I said, I have some information about the hospital and I did my electives there, so I knew what's up kind of, and I knew that I would be allowed to like learn, like be part of the like decision making and stuff like that. I know I met someone that told me that, oh, when I was in my elective, I met a house officer at that time. He told me that, oh, FMC Ebute metta is a good place to come to if you want to get like hands-on experience. So that's why I chose FMC Ebute metta, because I wanted hands-on experience, right? So that's why I chose it. Do you stay in the doctor's lodge, and how was it? No, I did not stay in the doctor's lodge. Why is the English in my mouth not English in right now? I didn't stay in the doctor's lodge because I came from home. I wanted to stay in the doctor's lodge, but there's just a lot of things. I will get into it when I get to that question. I think there's another question about it. So when I get to that question, I would answer it about the doctor's accommodation, or the house officer's accommodation. The next question here is from Sarah. That first question was from Blessing. The next question here is from Sarah, and she says, congratulations, Zara. Thank you very much. My questions are, and they are not small. My questions are: 1, for the hospital placements for housemanship, are you to choose, or the medical board assigns you to a particular hospital for your housemanship? No and yes. Like, let me explain. So there are different hospitals that take house officers, right? There is the federal hospital, there is the state hospital, there are military, or like military, navy, you know, that kind of stuff, and there's also like private hospitals that take house officers, right? So these different institutions have their different rules. For most federal hospitals, right, and FMCs, the placement is done through the MDCM portal. So basically, the portal opens like 4 times in a year. Each quarter, the portal opens normally. Sometimes it can open randomly, but like each quarter, you're expecting it to open at certain times of the year, right? And any like hospital that needs, or that has space for like house officers, or that need house officers, you would see them on the portal at that time, right? For example, let's say University of Lagos. If University of Lagos needs house officers around like December, when the portal for like December opens, November, December opens, you're going to see University of Lagos. If they are not in need of house officers, you won't see the institution in the portal at the time you apply. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So for federal and FMCs, that's how it works. But for state unis, you have to go to the institution. You have to do like an interview and apply for state unis. That's how that works. For military, I really don't know how military or navy hospitals work. Maybe it's also through the MDCM portal, I don't know. Or you have to apply. I think you have to apply and take an interview or something. But I know for federal, you get it on the MDCM portal. For states, you have to apply and do the whole interview stuff. For private too, you have to do the interview stuff. But like, if you know somebody is going to make your life easier, no, the medical board does not assign a particular hospital for you. You make that choice. Even when you're going through the portal, if the portal opens and like there are hospitals on the portal, when you open the portal, like you are the one to choose where you want to go to. If you don't see any hospitals or hospital that you like, you can decide to just close and try again some other time, right? So that's that. The second question says, during your house job, were you paid? What? So I was doing free work. Yes, we're being paid. I think someone else asked how much we're being paid. I'll get to that question later. I'm trying not to spend so much time answering each question. So yeah, we were paid. Let me just answer it now. When I started house job last year, the pay was 214k, like last year. But sometime in like March or April, it was increased to 244. and we're paid some areas or whatever from like, so I think they increased it last year actually, but they didn't implement that new pay till like March, but they did pay like the areas of it. So yeah, so currently the pay when like in federal hospitals is 244. In other places like in state hospitals they differ. Like I know the highest paying place right now is like HSCs in Lagos. So Lasuth and other like general hospitals in Lagos, the pay is higher. It's almost 300 if it's not 300 at the moment. So yeah, but for federal or any place you're getting through, if it's MDCN that is paying you, they're paying you 244. If it's the hospital that's paying, like if you go to a private institution or if you go to a state and it's like the state government that is paying you, it's different from what MDCN is paying, right? So the next question here says your experience during housemanship, but I don't understand this question. Your experience during, I guess it's how was your experience during your housemanship at Federal Medical Center? It was a very beautiful experience. I was thinking to myself like a few days after I finished my house job, I was saying, if I had the opportunity to like go back and start house job again, would I still choose the center that I did my house job in? And the honest truth is yes, I would, because I had very wonderful moments, right? I gained friends that have turned into family and stuff like that. I gained skills, like palpable skills, like skills that I can literally make money from if I wanted to. Do you understand? I felt like I was part of the decision-making process, like when it comes to patient care, especially in internal medicine and also pediatrics. I felt like I was part of the like decision-making team of the patients, and it was a wonderful experience because a lot of people will tell you that house job is like you're a houseboy or you're a house girl. Yes, obviously we saw that part during house job. I'm not saying like FMC is like is the best. I saw it. It didn't happen till like I did my last post in my ONG. Like we pursued blood and stuff like that. When that you hear that people do as house officers. Yes, we did that. But like you would gain something. I know how many surgeries I assisted. My experience during house job in FMC was a good one, was a beautiful one. Was it stressful? Yes, some parts were really stressful. I was stressed. Obviously, sometimes I didn't even care about my looks during house job, but it was a very wonderful experience. It was a beautiful experience. Yes, I'll choose FMC over and over and over again if I had a do-over, right? So the next question here is from Dan Oladipo. He says, congratulations on your completion, Dr. Zara. Thank you very much. Here are a few questions. 4 questions, few questions. Okay, I hear you. Here are a few questions I have. How do you prefer hospital? How do you prefer hospitals, e.g. FMC? I'm sorry, I don't understand this question. Is it why do you prefer the hospital FMC? I really don't understand this question. I prefer it because of everything I've just said now. Like I had trainings, I did procedures that I can literally charge for right now. So yeah. The next question here says, have you gained more clarity on your choice of specialization throughout your house job? Ooh, this is a very beautiful question. Yes-ish. I have gained some clarity, right? Well, I know for a fact that, okay, the way I'm saying I know for a fact, what if something happens and like I do this? Anyway, right now, I know for a fact that I am not going to go into obstetrics and gynecology, and I'm not going to go into surgery. To a lot of you who have been following me from day one since 2019, this will come as a shock to both all of you, because you guys know that I have been screaming surgery. I want to do general surgery or like cardiothoracic, or I don't know if I've mentioned, if you've come across any of my videos where I'm talking about surgery with so much passion. But during house job, I kind of got a clearer vision. I know that like for the kind of lifestyle I want to live, I want to have a good work-life balance. I don't want medicine to be my entire life, right? So I want to be able to do other things, like have a business, run a business. And I saw myself in each of these rotations, right? Not just seeing myself, I saw my senior colleagues, right? I mean registrars, senior registrars, consultants, and I saw the lives of these people like from obviously from the little interactions that we have, I saw myself in certain situations, and I'm like, in some situations I'm like, no, can't be me, can never be me. For example, surgery was nice, but like for surgery they were almost always in the hospital. I want a good work-life balance. For O&G really stressed me, but at the end of the day I ended up loving it. O&G stressed me, but I just knew that oh my goodness, my alarm. I just knew that I didn't want to do this. Like, I didn't want to do surgery. I don't want to live my life in the hospital. Do you understand? I don't want to make a bed or a home in the hospital. For internal medicine, I saw that it was a bit of work-life balance. I looked at the superior people, which is the consultants, and I saw that they had good work-life balance. I mean, then I looked at the senior registrars and the registrars. There was also internal medicine is very stressful. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it or lie. I was in nephrology during internal medicine, and that thing stressed the hell out of me, but I can never hate nephrology, right? So internal medicine is stressful, not gonna lie. The calls are crazy, but there is a good work-life balance in internal medicine from what I could see during my house job, right? So I'm going to tilt towards internal medicine, and in internal medicine is either I do cardiology, nephrology most likely, or I do cardiology, right? Because these two places I get to use my hands. That's one of the most important, or is it most important? It's a criteria for whatever specialty I choose. I want to be able to use my hands. I'm very hands-on. I'm a very hands-on girl. I like to use my hands. I'm very creative. I like to use my hands to do things. And in nephrology, there is dialysis, femoral cannulation, and all this. So I want to be able to like use my hands, right? In cardiology, most likely interventional cardiology. Do you understand? So that is like what I'm tilting towards. And yeah, pediatrics is also an option. If I do pediatrics, I want to be a pediatric nephrologist or a pediatric neurologist. Yeah, that is what I want to do if I do pediatrics. So yeah, again, good clarity during my house job in FMC. The next question here says, if one has plans to practice abroad, is house job still a necessity? Yes. If you are a Nigerian and you got your MBBS degree from Nigeria, you need to do your house job, because it's how do you say it? Penny wise, pound foolish for you to stress yourself for 6 years plus 7 years, and then you don't get your permanent license. Because truth is that when you leave medical school, what you're given is a provisional license. That license cannot take you through any door aside where you want to do your house job, right? So it makes no sense to finish medical school for 6-7 years and the only thing you have is like a temporary license for like 1 year, when you can do your house job and still get your apply for your permanent license, right? So even if you want to travel out, yes, still do your house job so you can get your permanent license, and then again you can also practice, because the truth is that the pathway to like traveling out may take time. Well, except you have someone over there that you intend on living with and staying with throughout your whole process of becoming a doctor abroad or like practicing abroad. Do you understand? If you're going to be writing all your exams from Nigeria, the pathway, whether it is PLAB or USMLE or any other exams, Canadian or Australian exam that you're writing, the pathway takes time. For PLAB, you can do it within like a year plus or 2. It still takes time. What are you going to be doing within this period of time? You should just as well do your house job. Do you understand? So yes, it's important you do your house job before you japa. So you're licensed, like fully licensed in Nigeria, and also licensed, wherever you want to go. Even if you decide to come back, you know that you're good here, right? So his next question is, what's next after house job? Okay, I have a video coming out to answer this question. After house job, what next? That video should be after this video, not immediately after this video, but if you want to see that video, you should definitely subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you can get notified when that video pops up, right? So yeah, thank you very much for the questions. Dan. The next question is from Peace, and she says, congratulations on completing your house job. Thank you very much. What would you say your biggest take home is? And did you get assaulted or have any troubles with patients or relatives? I hear that's a serious problem in the hospital. Okay. Well, thank you very much for congratulating me. First question, what's my biggest take home? My biggest take home from HouseJob is, I have a lot of take homes, guys, a lot. But I'm just going to give maybe 2 or 3. The first one is that wherever you find yourself in life, I'm not just saying HouseJob, wherever you find yourself, give it your absolute best. Whatever you find yourself doing, give it your absolute best. Like, bring your absolute best. Trust me. People are watching. It's not even because people are watching, because who cares? But at the end of whatever you're doing, let it be said of you. Like, let well done be said of you. Like, obviously, if you're a Christian, you know that after this your whole journey on earth, when you go to heaven, what God is going to tell you is, well done, O good and faithful servant. So, same thing here on earth. Whenever you're doing something, whatever it is that your hand finds doing, do it very well. So that at the end of the day, it is said of you that you've done well. Like, people can, when they see you, they're excited, they're happy. I don't know how to explain it, but one of the biggest take home is whatever you're doing, do it well. Not because people are looking or like you want to impress anybody. For your own good, right? Do it well. That's one. And the second one is, when you're doing your house job, apply yourself as much as possible. Because you don't know where your next blessing is going to come from, right? You don't know the skills that you're going to pick. You don't know who is going to be like, this person has been very wonderful, let's work together, that kind of thing. You don't know the truth is that during house job, you're just working, right? There's honestly, there's little to no time to study, except you're like very intentional about it and you make time to study, but there's little to no time to study, right? So apply yourself, pick soft skills as you go through each rotation. There are 4 rotations you usually go through: pediatrics, ONG, surgery, and medicine. In each, challenge yourself that in each rotation you want to have at least one skill, like just one. You don't need a lot, you just need one skill, right? So my biggest take home from house job was, I'll say, everything I learned, and the fact that after I was done, it's not even after, like during house job obviously, and after I was done, well done was said to me. That's so cliche. Anyway, then did I get assaulted or have any trouble with patients or relatives during house job? No, I never got assaulted during house job. And I feel like FMC doesn't really smile at assaults. People hardly very few cases. When you say assault, it's like beating, right? People, obviously, some patients will hassle you, they will shout, oh my god, attend to my patient, like attend to my relative. People are very stingy, like, you're not the only one in the hospital. I'm attending to other people. You think yours is an emergency, but I have seen you and it's not an emergency. So people can really be selfish, right? But no, for assault, like physical beating or like, no, that didn't happen. At least to me, it didn't happen to me. And I feel like my height, you cannot assault me. I'm not small, I'm tall. Like, when you're talking to me, sometimes you may be looking up. So people, I didn't get any assault. Obviously, I had like what did you even say? How do you say it? There will I call it troubles? Not really troubles. Like I said, people can be selfish and they'll be like, attend to me, you're not attending to me. I saw some of that. Like, people were seeking attention, but like trouble or assault, nothing of that sort. And the next question here is from Shalom, and she said, how stressful would you say FMC really was? Also, in comparison to what you've heard or seen from other hospitals. Okay, you want me to compare FMC to other hospitals? Okay, see, house job is stressful everywhere. You see that place that everybody is hyping and saying, oh my god, you chill, this place is very fine, there's no work, there's no stress. It's a lie. I can tell you free of charge that is a lie. That is a lie from the pits of hell. Okay, FMC wasn't so stressful. I'll tell you why it wasn't so stressful. So in FMC, doctors, house officers, we don't give medications, right? In some hospitals, it's the doctor that give medication. When I say medication, I mean IV medications, right? The only time we give IV medications in FMC are 2 cases. One, premature or preterm babies, because we want to monitor like the what's it called, medication they're getting, the antibiotics and all the whole go that they're collecting, right? Only preterm babies, not all newborns. I say preterm babies. That's one. Secondly, certain drugs that need like close monitoring, for example, calcium gluconate and all the brothers, labetalol, all the brothers like that. Other IV medications we don't give, but like medications that need close monitoring, we give that. And you know that you don't give this kind of medication all the time. Like, you're not giving calcium gluconate to every single person who walks into the hospital. You're not giving labetalol to every single person who walks into the hospital, right? So just on like few occasions that you have to give IV medication, right? So that's one of the good things about FMC, right? So it wasn't stressful in that like aspect of like giving medication and all whatnot. Generally, it depends, right? You have good days and you have bad days. If you're doing calls, you have good days and you have bad days. One thing I will never understand in this whole life as a doctor is literally doing a 24 hours call and continuing the next day like nothing happened. For example, you come to work on Monday, you'll call on Monday, you come to work Monday by 8, you work from 8 till the next day, right? And you continue that cycle, like you continue on Tuesday till like your closing time, 4, 3, whenever it is that you're done what you're doing. That I would never understand and I will never get, because you're literally fatigued. And the worst of it is when like your call was really busy, like you saw a lot of patients. That's crazy. That's very, very crazy. So in that sense, it can be stressful. Nowhere is stress-free, but some places just have less stress, right? So I'll say FMC is one of those places that have less stress. But is there work? There is work. Will you work? You will work. The next question is from Dr. Supreme, and it says, with the current country's economy, with current country's economic upheaval, how sustainable is house job salary, especially for a married person? Few minutes ago, I told you that the salary for house job, if you're being paid by MDCN, is 244k. Between me and you, what do you think about that? To be honest, that money did not even sustain me. That money cannot even sustain you as a single person. It didn't sustain me. Like I said, I came from home, so I didn't necessarily have to buy food. That is going to be the worst, because imagine how much you spend on food in a month. And when you're on calls, you most likely order food. If you're in Lagos, you know Child Deck, and Child Deck will give you a chokehold and will finish all your money. Literally, like maybe say 40 or 30% of your total house job money for a year will go to Child Deck. If you're in Lagos and if you like to order food, I'm telling you, go to your Child Deck app and calculate how much Child Deck has taken from you. So I didn't have to buy food except when I was on call, right? And maybe when I wanted to just splurge on something nice and eat something different from like home cooked meal, right? So that saved me, right? But for like other things, that money was nothing. My salary literally finished like in a week plus or 2, especially when I'm doing like heavy duty stuff like restocking my skincare. Do you know how much skincare is? So that salary wasn't even sufficient for me, a single person. Thankfully, I had, like I said, I was coming from home, and then I had my business, and then I had some small money that I was getting like at random times, right? So that was what sustained me. Then now to sustain a married person, someone that has become 2, about to become 3, if you're not careful. I don't think so. You have to double your hustle. You may have to like take covers like maybe at night shift or something in other hospitals, which is not allowed. Zara did not tell you to do that. There was a time that MDCN released the memo that house officers are not yet doctors, blah 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 blah. They can't take cover, they can't do locum and all whatnot. But my dear, if you can find your way, find your way. So yeah, a house job will not sustain you. If you can have a business on the side, perfect. Have a business. Obviously, you may need the support of your partner. anybody that wants to do 50-50 with you, they can do 50-50 with you at that time. This is not me. So yeah, that is it. Okay, next one says, the next question here is from Olashina Bolatito. Sorry, I'm gonna say it again. Olashino Bolatito. It says, hey Zara, congratulations on the completion of your house job. Thank you very much. To get placements, do you have to apply to the portal? Is there an option? Okay, I've already said that. I've already answered this question. If you want to go to a federal uni or FMCs, federal medical center, say federal uni, teaching hospitals, right? Or federal medical centers, you have to apply through the portal, or you have to find your way, like I found my way. Then next question says, is there any option for submitting an application fiscally? Yes, for state uni and for like private sorry, what am I saying, uni? For state hospitals and private hospitals. Yes. How good is the pay there compared to other hospitals? It's just normal pay. It's just a normal pay. And to be honest, it's an okay pay compared to what will happen when you're done with house job and you start NYSC. So it's an okay pay, right? How good is the pay? Okay, yeah. The highest paying, like I said, right now is Lagos. Maybe not. I don't know about North. I didn't think about that. But highest paying that I know of is HSC, and they're almost at 300, if they're not even 300 already. The next question here is from Halima Tasiu. It says, congratulations on completing your house job. Thank you very much. What field do you want to specialize in? I've already answered that. Do you get to choose the hospital for your housemanship, or MDCN just randomly allocates you somewhere? I've already answered that. You have all the autonomy to choose where you want to do your house job in. Then next question, how much do they pay as an intern? 244k at the moment, as at, what's this, December of 2024 is 244k. They are supposed to have increased it by now because they increased minimum wage, but we never see anything. The next question here is from Dr. Ogosa. Hey, forgive me, please. It's not intentional. The question, she says, how was the first week of house job for you? Were you able to get accustomed to, how were you able to get accustomed to your duties? The first week of house job for me was a breeze. That is what I would say if it was actually a breeze. Okay, wait. The first week of house job wasn't bad. I started with pediatrics, and pediatrics was chill. I got accustomed to my duties really quickly in pediatrics. I was on call the next week after I started house job. Oh, it was like, I don't know, was it a shadow call? I can't remember now, but it was last year. My first week wasn't bad. Like I said, I got accustomed to my duties because I did my electives here, and I was in pediatrics for like majority of my electives, so I had quite an easy, introduction to house job. So I'm not even like, it wasn't bad, it was easy, it was breezy, it was okay. Do you understand? Because my mom was there. Like I told you, I'm a nepo baby. And how was I able? I had help. Like I made friends with people who were already doing the stuff. One good thing I'll say about FMC is that people are really friendly. I mean, the doctors, house officers, the nurses, some nurses, and like pharmacists, everybody is friendly. It's like a family house. It's like a family, right? So once you just come in, everybody's just like vibing with you. Do you understand? So I made friends really quickly, and they helped me. Like whenever I was confused, I just used to call on someone, whoever was there to help me out. I will call on them. Oh yes, I remember I did a shadow call. I remember, and I shadowed a babe that her call was like always busy and crazy, and it made me learn. I knew how to catch babies. I already knew how to catch babies before, but like it now registered. Do you understand how to catch babies? What I need to do when they call, like when I say catch babies, I'm talking about for CS now, right? So when they call on the pediatric team to be available for CS, and that, okay, when you get there, you check this, you check that, you check that, make sure everything is here and stuff like that. You call your oga that, they're in the red light. Long story short, basically, I made friends really quickly, and they helped me like get used to house job really quickly also. The next question here is from Telma, and she says, what advice will you give to new house officers What advice would you give to new house officers slash doctors, knowing all you know now? I think I already touched on that already, which is like apply yourself, be open-minded to a lot of things. I know a lot of people say that, oh, house job is difficult, house job is stressful. That's true, but still be open-minded, have the mindset to learn and know. Even if you know a lot already, or if you've had some experience maybe working somewhere else before you started your house job, even if you were the BGS in your school, I would say just calm down and take what you need to get in this phase of your life as much as you can. Apply yourself, again, I've said it before, as much as you can. So that's my advice to you starting house job. And don't be scared to ask for help. Yes, don't be scared to cry. In fact, cry for help. Do you know why? You're dealing with human lives. Oh, speaking of human life, don't ever get too comfortable with it's just human. Like, I don't know how to explain it. House job or working as a doctor can just twist your brain in a way that you forget that you're actually attending to a human being. Like, I kid you not, especially like on crazy calls. You're like, I beg, okay, just be going. Like, you just want to be done quick, and just go. Never ever forget that you're dealing with human life. It's very, very important. Like, to always remember that you're dealing with a human being. Yes, I know a lot of people can be selfish sometimes, and like people have really nasty attitude or nasty characters. Even in that situation, choose to be kind. Sorry guys, I don't know if you noticed, but the lightning in this video just went down because we just took the lights. POV, you live in Nigeria. Anyway, I think I've already answered that question. The advice to new HOs or new doctors: be kind, apply yourself, and all that good stuff. Then next question is from Jessica. She says, hi Zara, would you say you made the right choice working where you did? I think I already answered this question. Yes, I made the right choice. If I was allowed to like choose again or have a do-over, which I don't want, I would choose FMC again. How did I get into the hospital? I already said that. It was Imam Madu. If you're Igbo, you know what that means. You have to know somebody. Then the third question, she says, I'm sure everyone would ask this. Has anybody asked this? I don't know. Japa or stay? Honestly, I don't know. Right now, I'm in the I don't know phase. It's a percentage at the moment, and each day the percentage keeps dropping. Majority of it, or like a higher percentage, I want to stay in Nigeria. The lower percentage, I want to leave. But every day it moves to the Japa phase. Do you understand? So right now I really don't know. It's something I am still praying about. I'm still talking to God about, because I don't like to make decisions on my own. These are like life-changing decisions. And then again, the grass is not always greener on the other side. Can we talk about it? I really do want to stay in Nigeria. I really do. But like, some people are making it difficult to stay. People that have higher powers, they're making it difficult for people to stay. For young doctors to stay in Nigeria. How can your salary be 244k? It's not like the price of Gary has decreased. It's still going up. It's going up. Do you understand what I'm saying? So yeah. Next question here. Can you compare the teaching hospitals to FMC? Okay. On what basis will I use now? So FMC is smaller than teaching hospitals. The FMC I did my house job in. Hey, my neighbor just turned on their gen. I hope you can't hear that. I really hope. But yeah, the FMC I stayed in, they were really warm, they were really kind, they were really like inviting, if that's the word I'm looking for. Like, they were accommodating. Like, you understand what I mean? Like, they even wanted you to learn. So FMC was nice to me. Then in FMC we don't give IV medication except in those cases I told you about. So yeah, that's under comparison. I know in teaching hospitals they do that. In teaching hospitals, I don't know if you'll be allowed to like assist in surgeries. That was one good thing about FMC. Like, you assisting in surgery is like your rights. In fact, like, can you say, oh my, I want to assist in this surgery, and they're like, okay, come and assist. I know how many surgeries I assisted in, from surgery to what's it called, O&G. Do you understand? So I assisted in surgery. I did a lot of procedures. I know how to do femoral cannulation, central line, even neckline for dialysis. What else? EBTs. I know how to do circumcision. I stayed in a lot of surgeries, like major surgeries, or not like minor ones. Mastectomy, thyroidectomy, total abdominal hysterectomy, myomectomy, like a lot of them. So yeah, so I had that experience. I know in teaching hospital is difficult, or it's not like very common, because they have more residents who have not even done this, have not even assisted in surgeries, and you want to be fighting that position with them. Do you understand? I'm not saying that they don't have that in FMC, but like is lesser compared to teaching hospitals. Do you understand? So yeah, there is that. Next question says, finally, how are you able to manage your time? My dear, I wasn't HouseJob wasn't the best place where I say, oh my god, that was such a very wonderful time. You know, I managed my time very well, right? Because I was doing other things. I had my business on the side. I had YouTube and content creation in every other social media platform, which I was failing at. Obviously, there were sometimes I'll just disappear from YouTube, sometimes I'll disappear for Instagram. I'm actually finding it very difficult to come back to Instagram right now. TikTok was the place I'll say, oh my god, I was consistent, because I wanted to grow my TikTok intentionally. My business had to suffer on some months. When I was in internal medicine, I don't think I even smelt my business for like 3 months or 2 months. So some parts of my life did suffer. Even my spiritual life, unfortunately, I don't say that with any pride or any joy in my heart, it did suffer. I can count how many times I went to church, because either I'm on Saturday call, or I'm on Sunday call, or I'm exhausted, or I have to go and see my patients in the hospital even on weekends. It was crazy. Do you understand? So I would not say that I was the best time manager. I just wanted to just be done. Let's just be going. Let me just be done with this phase of my life. Do you understand? So I didn't manage my time well, so I don't even know the advice you're going to give you right now. If you don't have like a lot of things you want to do, then I think you have a good time in your house job, or you manage your time better. But if you want to do other things, like you want to create content, you want to have a business, you might run mad. Do you understand? Some days I allow certain aspects of my life shine. Some days I'm like, okay, let's not focus on content at the moment, let's do business. Sometimes I'm like, let my business just pause, let me even restructure this business, let me do content. Do you understand? I had like time to like choose. Do you understand? And then again, for my spiritual life aspect, online service. Even if I'm exhausted and I come back maybe from a Saturday call and I'm so exhausted, like it's going to be by my ear, I'm just going to turn it, even if I'm going to sleep, online service. Then again, I watched it a lot, and I did but I had a devotional that I was using, which helped my spiritual life. So that time management thing, we're still looking for the best way to manage our time as in house officers, was it? But one thing I would say is that doing your house job, make time for to have fun and to live. Don't just work. Try to have a good work-life balance. I know that I tried my best to have fun once in a while. It wasn't something that was often, but I tried to have fun once in a while, which is what I'll advise anybody to do. Then I think that's the last question. There was a question I thought I saw. Maybe it got deleted or the person deleted it. I don't know. I thought someone asked me something about the accommodation. Now I feel like I'm missing some questions. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. These are all the questions that I have here, but I'm going to answer the accommodation part and another question that people didn't ask, about FMC. So the accommodation part is that, yes, accommodation is quite challenging in FMC. So there are 3 accommodations. Some people will tell you that there are 3 levels of accommodation, but sometimes I believe it, sometimes I don't, right? So there are 3 accommodations in FMC, and they are located at different points, like the nearness to the hospital or within the hospital. So there is the one that is just behind the hospital. In fact, see the hospital, see the accommodation. That one is called FP, right? It's called FP. So it's close to the hospital, right? That one is like it's a 2-man room. It's like the finest, hotel is the finest accommodation, blah blah blah. You have your bathroom. Each room has their bathroom like in the room, right? So that's it. It's a 2-man room. There's a wardrobe, there's AC in your room. So the next one is BT. I'm sorry, I'm calling them by their what's it called? I'm making the short form, like my god, I'm abbreviating the names because I don't know, I don't want to give out too much information for safety of others, if you get what I mean. So yeah, there's BT, right? BT is not so far from the hospital, but it's not like very close to the hospital. You can decide to take a bike, or you can decide to just stroll. Like you get to the hospital. If you stroll, you get to the hospital within maybe 15 minutes, depending on how fast you are. If you take a bike, like 2-3 minutes, you're already in the hospital. Yeah, that's BT. So BT, the most expensive one now is FP, right? So the next best thing is BT. BT also is a 2-man room. You have AC in your room. You don't have your toilet in your room. I think it's just maybe one room that has a toilet in their room, and each accommodation has like a common room, like a parlor with TV and stuff, where you connect like DSTV or GoTV and watch whenever you want to, right? Then the last one is, what will I call it now? IK. The last one is IK, is the farthest from the hospital. The difference between this one and the others is that it's single person room. I don't know if the order has changed, but it's a single person room. You stay alone in that room. That's the oldest accommodation in FMC, right? So it's the oldest accommodation in FMC. You stay alone. Every room, like I said, every accommodation, like I said, they have a common room. That room does not have that accommodation does not have an AC. That's the oldest one, the IK. It doesn't have an AC, right? Your toilet, you have a shared toilet, about 4 bathrooms or so, and there are how many rooms? I can't remember. Maybe 8 or 10 rooms. I think it's 8, yeah, in that accommodation, right? So and it's the cheapest, right? So FP is the most expensive, BT is like in the middle, IK is the most expensive, right? The good thing about FP is that if there's no lights in Nigeria and the hospital has lights, you have lights. Do you understand? And the hospital always has lights. In fact, it's just like few weeks before I ended my house job, the whole national grid and something with the gen, but there's always lights in the hospital and there are inverters. So if there is light in the hospital, you have lights in the FP. I almost called the name. For BT, there's a gen, so even if there's no light, there's gen, right? And water runs in all the places. So for IK2, there's also a gen, right? What else? The price for FP, it might have changed. It was, I think, 120, right? And you pay it instantly. Like you don't pay it, it's not separated into each month. You pay it when you start. Like you pay before you even move in for all the accommodations, right? For BT, it's like 100k. I don't know if it has increased, right? Per person, not per room, per person. Then for IK, it was 80k. I don't know if it has increased because of like condition of things in life. So yeah, so there are 3 accommodations, but again, it's very limited and it's done on a first come first serve basis. So people always say that FP, people who are like influential, they always get FP, right? Then BT is the next best thing before IK. But I don't believe so. Yeah, there are people that I know that, oh, they got FP and they have like influence and stuff like that. But there are also people that have influence and they got BT and they got IK. It depends on where it's available, and if you are waiting for that perfect place, you may not see it, honestly. I know some people that have had to get accommodation within the hospital but not in the like respective hospital provided accommodation, right? But people have gotten accommodation around the hospital, within the hospital. Yeah, so that's that about the accommodation. Another thing I would like to touch on, which wasn't asked yet, but I feel like it's good people know, is that in FMC you don't get breaks, right? You don't get breaks. What I mean is that in some hospitals, after each rotation, after 3 months, you get like 1 week break or 2 weeks break, depending on where you are. But in FMC you don't get breaks. Everything is jammed together and given to you as your terminal leave. So you work for 11 months and you take your paid terminal leave at your 12 months. Do you understand? So that's what I did. I worked for 11 months and I took my terminal leave at the 12th month. Another good thing about FMC, I would say, is that when as a house officer you're under NHIS, as you're working in the hospital you're under NHIS. So what you do is that you go and register, right? You open your card and you register, and you're giving your it's called tempo. You're giving your temporary NHIS number and stuff like that. So basically, any medication that is under NHIS, like malaria drug, you don't need to pay for it. You don't need to pay for your consultations. You don't need to pay for certain things because you're under NHIS. So that's a beautiful part about it. So I know that, you don't get breaks, but you can always like see a doctor, do checkup, even blood test, you don't pay for it. Maybe if you have to pay for a drug, it's like maybe 19 naira, 100 naira, normal NHIS stuff now. So you have health insurance for 1 year if you're working in FMC. I know that a lot of hospitals don't have that, but it's something, it's worthy of note. So I'm just telling you. Then something else I wanted to say, yeah, you can get sick leave even when we don't get like breaks and you have to work for 11 months straight. You can get sick leave, you understand, whenever like you're really down, you go to the staff clinic and you're giving like a paper which you submit your concern. Long story, you get sick leave, right? What else did I want to talk about? There's something I wanted to talk about. I hope I've answered all the questions. If I have not answered the question, leave any other question you have in the comment section and I will camp there and make sure that I answer them for you. So yeah guys, that's the end of the video. Thank you very much for indulging me and asking me these questions. I'm very happy to answer them. If you have more questions, please leave it in the comment section. If you have gotten to this point of the video, you're definitely an MVP, and I'm wondering and asking myself, why have you not clicked that subscribe button yet? What exactly are you waiting for? So please go ahead, click the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell so that I can get notified whenever I have new content on this channel. And also give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and if I answered your questions well, give it a thumbs up, like it. It helps me, it helps YouTube know that you liked the video. And leave your comments below. It could be anything really, more questions, statements, comments, just thanking me for being a beautiful girl. Anything you want to say it in the comments. And also share this video to your friends, new doctors, newly inducted doctors, to help them navigate their house job in life. Yeah, and I'll see you guys in my next one. I love you guys as always. Mwah. Bye.